So would you say this is still what we were expecting?
That's exactly what we were expecting. Light to moderate rain, manageable storm. What will be interesting is tomorrow. When we start waking up tomorrow morning, areas that have high flood potential, especially in our low-lying areas or barrier islands, Fort Myers Beach floods just on an afternoon storm. So they're going to have high tide, a little bit of surge, and heavy rain. That's going to be an area of concern. So it's not a cakewalk. There are going to be some areas that have some trouble with this storm. But most of us, the vast majority of us, are just going to kind of get through a rainy, gloomy weekend. But those areas, especially along the coast, those are kind of the areas that we really want to pay close attention to, because that's where we could have some problems with too much water at once. As far as the winds are concerned, the winds are pretty manageable for the most part, absolutely. Tropical Storm Debbie, kind of a mess of a storm. It will look a little bit more organized on satellite in the coming days as it moves over the water. Here's a look at the cone. Again, the cone, really not much of a story for us. The story is, even though it's over 100 miles offshore, that's only the center of circulation. That's only tracking where the eye of the storm is. And right now, there's really not an eye of the storm because it's not organized enough. Well offshore, the cone says, hey, this is where the center's going, where are the impacts. That's what we're telling you. The impacts are the rain, and they're all east of the storm. Also, throughout the rest of the storm, it does get to intensify a bit once it gets past our region. The waters are warm. We have even warmer waters as it moves north of Cape Coral into the Tampa region, making landfall potentially. That was the biggest change we got with the category, with the 5 o'clock advisory, is that a Category 1 hurricane is possible to make landfall into the Big Bend region. Here's a look at the latest intensity guidance. So what we are concerned about over the next 24 hours, we're staying in this tropical storm status. It doesn't get to potentially Category 1 until it's past our region. So again, on radar, you can see how it doesn't look too organized. And these bands of rain for tonight, what's expected for tomorrow morning is this. Do you see how it's not broken up as much? That's going to be that consistent rain, and that's when things start to deteriorate pretty quickly. A little look at First Alert Live Doppler right now. Light to moderate rain for Arcadia. No real lightning in that part of the state right now. We're not going to get a ton of lightning with these thunderstorms. You do when things start to get a little bit more fired up, especially as that storm gets closest to our pass tomorrow morning. But for the most part, it's just going to be a steady light rain for the next few hours. Once we head farther to the south, this is where we might see a few more lightning strikes start to work their way in. Marco Island at 7:15, Isle of Capri at 7:19, and some stronger storms farther to the north into parts of LaBelle. As far as rain is concerned, that's what we've been talking about. It's pushing in for tomorrow. How much rain have we already seen? 2 inches of rain in parts of Golden Gate Estates. And remember, we have not seen the biggest rainfall that is going to occur. That will occur tomorrow morning between about 4 in the morning and 10 o'clock in the morning. That consistent rain pushes on through. Then it starts to taper off a bit. So how much more rain are we expecting? I'm going to send it over to Justin. It's going to walk you through that part of the threat.
That's right, Allison. We could even double those numbers down across Collier County as the more heavy bands that move in tomorrow morning, continuing through the early afternoon. That's where it's going to really add on top of our totals, especially here on the coast, where we're forecasting anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of range on a general range. Some areas are going to get caught in some of those heavier downpours, and that's where we could see those numbers top over maybe 9, 10 inches of rain. The further off east that you do get, that's where we see those totals back off slightly, but they still should be respected, talking anywhere from 1 to even 3 inches of rain across some of our inland communities. So again, going to be really heavy rainfall as we get up into tomorrow morning, continuing through the afternoon, and that's what's going to lead to that potential for some flooding around the area. So be careful if you see water over a roadway. Remember not to drive through it. We got the flood watch, coastal one, all across the coast of Charlotte as well as Lee County. Meanwhile, all of Collier, Hendry, and Glades under that watch here as we get into the next 24 hours. We deal with these heavier bands starting to move in. We've known that the heavy rain is going to be our biggest threat, but let's talk about that wind, which again is manageable, but also want to talk about the surge potential as well. Our wind speeds are going to start to pick up here in the overnight. We could see some of those gusts clock in up to 40 miles per hour, especially along our coastal areas, along the beaches. Watch those as we get into tomorrow morning. Right about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, we start to see some of the heavier bands getting those numbers up to nearly 45 over towards Sanibel. But I want to point out your wind direction here because that will be the key factor with the surge potential, especially when we kind of couple with the tide time. So this model particularly puts the southerly winds in here by 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, pushing them more southwesterly. When we get that southwesterly push, that's pushing the water into the bays, into some of those coves. That's when we would be concerned more so with that surge potential. That's more so into the late mid-afternoon, or mid to early afternoon, should I say. So when we kind of look at the tide times, at Fort Myers Beach, the high tide comes in, at least the bigger one, is at 12:55. So fortunately, it looks like as those winds are starting to come in, the tide will start to go out. But remember, we are in new moon phase, which our tides are amplified. So we have to be watching that. Charlotte Harbor a little later in the afternoon, more around 3:11 is when that high tide rolls in. So as a general thumb, we're talking anywhere from 1 to 3 inches across Collier County. Here across Lee Coastal and Collier into Charlotte Coastal, rather, anywhere from that 3 to 4 inch range. Talking about some of those areas more likely to see on that higher side, I do want to zoom in on a local view here. As you can see, those areas shaded here in yellow, it's mostly those low-lying areas, the mangroves, where we would see some of those higher potentials. Of course, we do want to plan in general, though, for that 2 to 4 inches. That's also the case here as we get up into Charlotte County as well. We do have that storm surge watch that is in place for our coastal areas here in Lee and Charlotte County, as well as the rest of us dealing with the other threats that are on the board. With some of those bands, could see a low wind threat for a tornado. But again, heavy rain, that's going to be our biggest threat with that potential for flooding out there. And as we do get into Sunday, then eventually Monday, things will start to wind down and we'll get back towards our normal regular program as we get into the next week.